What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video on a Tuesday, a little bit different this week because the New York Jets play on Thursday. We're doing a Jets Patriots preview of Thursday Night Football. It's the 2-7 Jets versus the 8-2 New England Patriots. The Jets are 25th in points for and 26th in points against versus the Patriots, who are 8th in points and 6th in points against. One of the big storylines from yesterday that it was going to have a major factor in this game, Garrett Wilson is not going to be seen for the next little bit. He is out for 3 to 4 weeks. Don't rush him. That is my take on this, even if you have to shut him down for the season. As much as I love watching Garrett Wilson, they probably rushed him back. He probably shouldn't have played in that game against the Browns. He missed the previous 2 weeks. He came back, re-injured his knee. So don't rush him. The positive is he doesn't need surgery, which is a good sign, but no need to rush him back in a year where you're 2-7. My take on that is AD Mitchell time, baby. Let's see what you have in this kid. A big opportunity for him in the next month or so. Without Garrett Wilson, I think by default, he's going to be the number one receiver for the Jets. He did not play against the Cleveland Browns. I fully expect him to play in this game coming up against the New England Patriots. They're going to have to spread the ball around a little bit. They only had 6 completions in the game against the Cleveland Browns, and no one had more than 1 reception in that game. So we'll see game plan wise or just game flow wise if how similar or different we get that on Thursday. But with no Garrett Wilson, I would imagine AD Mitchell should be at least the guy who takes over as the number one receiver. The Patriots are the hottest team in the NFL right now. They've rattled off 7 straight wins, and they're coming off a big win over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the leaders of the NFC South. Drake May, the quarterback's in MVP conversations, 113.9 passer rating so far on the season, completion percentage at 71.7%, and 19 passing touchdowns to 5 interceptions. Also has a couple of rushing touchdowns on top of that. He's been really, really good for New England this year, and is a big reason why they are in the position that they are at the top of the AFC East, especially with, you know, the late loss that we got this past week from the Bills to the Miami Dolphins. Big shocker there. The Bills usually have the Dolphins number. Not in this game, not in this past week's game. So New England sitting atop the AFC East. What year is this? I don't like it. I thought we were done with the Patriots at the top of the AFC East. That only lasted so long. The Jets, though, they've won 2 in a row. Is this the turning point of their season? Are they turning a corner? They're coming off a win out of a bye week against a team that was not very good in the Cleveland Browns, but the Jets, you know, historically and with the last couple of regimes have been downright awful out of the bye, and they came out and executed a really good game plan in this game. So I think the coaching staff deserves credit for that, but now they have a huge test. Like I mentioned, one of the hottest teams in the NFL going up against a divisional opponent. Short week. They're red hot. How legit is this turnaround? And when I mean turnaround, my expectation is not for them to just rattle off, 8 straight wins and get to 10-7. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm just talking about, earlier in the year when they played some good teams. For instance, the Buffalo, they got their teeth kicked in. They got their teeth kicked in against Dallas earlier in the year. And Dallas, I don't even think is that great of a football team. They've played much more competitively, even if they've had their struggles on offense, but just in general, they've been much more competitive over the last 4 games or so. Can we see that continue in this game? A note on the Jets quarterback, Aaron Glenn said, don't ask me about the starting quarterback this week. On a short week especially, I don't think they're making any sort of change at quarterback. Justin Fields is likely going to be the starter in this one, as he should. I'm not advocating for the Jets to make a change on a short week. That doesn't make a lot of sense. But something of note for Justin Fields, in 3 of his last 4 starts, he has less than 50 net passing yards. There's been 4 games this year where he's had fewer than 60 passing yards in the first, 9 starts that he's had, or 8. I guess he's played 8 games, right? Because Tyrod Taylor played against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't know what version of Justin Fields you're getting, and that's kind of been the story with not only Justin Fields, but this team. It kind of varies week to week what this team looks like. And for Justin, look, like he was really good against Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. And he was really bad against Buffalo, Denver, Carolina, and Cleveland. And then, a couple solid performances against against Miami and Dallas. So it's been a mixed bag for him so far this year. And like, I'm just kind of looking for any sort of consistency from him, if we're going to get that or not at any point this year. But it's a tough matchup going up against a strong defense without your number one wide receiver. So with that, I want to get into my sleeper picks for this game and some stat predictions for you. But here's a look at my sleeper picks. I have Breece Hall, 50-plus rushing yards, Drake May, less than 249.5 passing yards, and Hunter Henry, more than 2.5 receptions. The Jets, despite all their flaws defensively, they don't usually let up quarterbacks having like 300-plus yard passing games. I think Drake May, I'll give the numbers prediction. I think he goes over 200. I think he has a relatively good day. I just don't know the game script's going to, yield the kind of game where he's dropping back 40 times and going to have 300-plus yards. I don't know if we see that. Hunter Henry, the Jets usually struggle against the tight end. That just feels like a game where he's going to be involved. Use promo code O'Leary and you'll get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. New offer, there's a free $20 no deposit required promo. Terms and conditions apply. All right, for some more stat predictions, Fields, what kind of game do we get from him? I think it's probably going to be somewhere in the middle, similar to what we saw against Miami and Dallas. 14-25, 160 yards, touchdown, no picks, 88.8 rating, somewhere in that range. An okay game, and that should be enough for the Jets to stay in this one. Drake May, I have him 21-33, 231 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, a 104.5 rating. For Breece Hall, I think he's going to be relied on. 18 carries, 70 yards, touchdown, something like that. That's kind of my expectation for Breece Hall in this game. All right, I've had a little bit of a struggle the last 2 weeks. I was 5-2, now I'm 5-4 against the spread and straight up. The Jets have won 2 in a row. They are 11.5-point underdogs on the road. Am I crazy? I think I'm going to take the Jets against the spread. Them going to New England and winning doesn't seem very likely. I'm not going to pick them outright, so we might get a different look at if I am, the ATS versus straight up. It might look a little bit different next week, but we'll see. Anyway, them going to New England doesn't feel likely on a short week. Is it impossible? No, it's the NFL. Any team can win on any given Sunday. But these divisional games on Thursday nights usually, not always, but usually tend to be lower scoring tight games. I'm going to take New England 24-17. I think the Jets hang around and give them maybe a little bit of a better fight than we originally anticipated from this group. And we'll see how it ends up playing out. But if the Jets keep it to a 1-score game with New England that are like in it and going punch for punch, I'd be okay with that. I obviously it would be kind of cool to pull off an upset win on the road. That would be a really nice sign for this coaching staff going forward. I just don't have the guts to pick that to happen. But you let me know. Do you have the guts to pick that to happen? What do you think the score is between the Jets and the Patriots on Thursday Night Football? Sound off in the comments. I'm Matt O'Leary. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you next time.